the kingdoms and all that. First thing is generosity. First thing is generosity. For example, Mahavira was meditating, and while coming out, his cloth, he had one cloth around his body, dhoti, and he had covered himself. And the upper cloth just got up in the bushes. So he cut it out and came out with half the cloth. It was in his own palace. So Shri Krishna wanted to take his test. He said, "See, I have no clothes, I am just naked." He came before him like a beggar. "You have this, why don't you give me this cloth? You can go to your palace and wear your dress." He said, "All right." He took it out and gave it to him. And then he got some leaves and all that, covered himself, went to his palace and got it. But now these giants, they make his statue so big, insult him completely by showing all kinds of nonsensical private parts to the details. This is what is where you have no worshipping of the goddess. Goddess is Shri Shobha. She is the one who decorates you. She is a mother. She decorates you with ornaments, she decorates you with beautiful clothes. She is your mother. She does it. Like Raja Janaka, he was the king, so he had to wear ornaments, he had to wear beautiful clothes, he had to do everything. And when Nachiketa went to him, he was quite surprised that why my Guru has sent him to this king who is wearing all kinds of dresses and this and that. And he also had a big function of dancing and this. He said, he is not a saint. So why my Guru touches his feet? He is a king. Of course, Raja Janaka knew what he was thinking about. She said, why have you come here, Nachiketa? He said, I am here to get my self-realization. He said, you can take all my kingdom, but not easy to give you self-realization. He said, all right. Whatever you say, I'll do. So he put a big sword on his head and asked him to sleep. He couldn't sleep at all. Then they were having a bath. He said, come and have a bath in the river. People came and told that there's fire and everybody is running away. And Raja Janaka was in his meditative mood. He was just sitting quietly. Nachiketa got a little upset. Then they said the fire is coming here and all these clothes are going to be burnt. So Nachiketa ran out to save his things. But still he was meditating. Then they came out and Nachiketa found that nothing that was burnt was there. It was just an illusion for people. He was amazed. Then he realized what was wrong with him, that he was doubting the divine power itself. The one who was Janaka, who was a king, was not bothered about his own powers. These are what? Because he is today this, you have to do it. Because I am married, I have to wear a Mangalsutra. So, this is for the parampara, for the tradition style. But inside, he was a saint. Very high. high level of saintliness. When this thing happens, that you get some position, any power, even in Sahaja Yoga I was surprised. If somebody becomes leader, I don't know what happens to him. It is a myth. There's nothing like leadership in Sahaja Yoga, nothing like that. It's just a myth. But suddenly people jump up. It is ego that gets pampered. But this ego can be easily managed if you worship the Raja Lakshmi. She is the giver of balance. Firstly, she rides on the elephant. It's not easy for a lady to climb on an elephant. I have done it. It's not easy. Without fear. And she sits straight with a complete balanced attitude. And her blessings are tremendous. The first blessing one gets, the imbibement of dignity. Dignity of a king, dignity of a queen. You are a queen. So you can't behave like a street woman. With her blessing, first of all, you get that dignity. That dignity is full of love. Love for others. That personality emits nothing but love and benevolence for others. Nothing else. Wherever she looks, in every glance, she blesses people. She doesn't expect anything. She's a queen. What can you give to the queen? She's the highest of all. In every way, what can you give it to her? All these politicians and all these so-called presidents of all these countries are beggars. All the time, give me this, like greedy people going around are beggars. They are not the people who can rule. Hankering after things. So first thing is the sign is that such a person has a personality that just blesses people, thinks of their benevolence, cares for each and every person who comes. This is a blessing of the goddess. Then the second blessing of the goddess is that you develop a kind of a temperament which is very dignified but also very humorous. And understanding what other people are like. This is a story of a king who was going on a horse and he met a drunkard. So you can say, our drunkard can be compared to our politicians. So the drunkard stopped. Okay. He said, I want to buy your horse. People said, do you know what he is? Yeah, I know, he's a king, all right, so what? I want to buy his horse. said, all right, not today, tomorrow we'll sell the horse to you. So went away. Next day he was gone. She came with folded hands, bent down. He said, what? You were the one who was going to buy my house, my horse. What has happened to you? I want to sell it to you. He said, sir, the one who wanted to buy is dead. I am an ordinary person. Such a personality, such solid personality, I should say, that anybody would have been angry, would have said, beat this man, throw him away, he talks to me like this, behaves like this. What the king said was remarkable, because he knew he is drunk. He knew he is not in his senses. That's why he stopped. Then get angry with him. He said, all right, come along, tomorrow I'll sell you the horse. That's only possible if you have this Raja Lakshmi in you. Otherwise, you would never behave like this. Now what about today's politicians anyway? They even shoot people, they kill people, they arrest them, they put them into trouble, I mean, all kinds of things that. Such people have no right to call anybody as criminals. But we accept. As in Hindi, we say, आजकल का ज़माना ही ऐसा. We accept it. All such people as our rulers. Then Raja Lakshmi is the one who stands on dharma. She stands on dharma. If there is some adharmi, then she will not bless that person. Adharmi is to be taken up. But if he is not, then he will go all out to save that adharmi, that person. But if he finds his adharmi, he will not. It's a kind of a divine discretion he should have as to whom to be kind and whom to be punishing. That divine discretion should be there in a person. Otherwise, you can play into the hands of 10 people who are around you, teaching you something, doing something. One day I was in my mother's place, Nandgaon, and there was one gentleman who impressed our yogi very much. I just kept quiet. He was a big politician. And he told me we have to do like this, we have to do. I said, all right. Then 3-4 professors from the university came to tell me, Mother, he is a politician, be very careful, he is a very bad man, you be careful about him. I said, what do you know about him? He said, he is a politician. I said, there are so many politicians. But he is not a good man. But what do you mean? I said, now you sit down, I'll tell you. This man has